Oh, here we go. We're back again. 1, 2, 3, and boom. Kill the music. Bring on the comments. Let it fly. Great day today. Frustrating day today. Challenging day today. Interesting conversations today. You know what? This digital world is fantastic. Or it's fraught with challenges, or it's impossible to connect with people, or you get a chance to meet so many different people. Whoa. Really, I mean, like, what's the true answer in this whole thing? That is a darn good question, but spelling's good, but it definitely opens up possibilities. I had a meeting this morning. You know what? Got a chance to, I got actually had a chance to speak to people haven't spoken to in a little while. And the reality of it is that many people just don't have the time to travel to all these different things. And even these are local people. There's a support group that I co-facilitate. It's like going online is the absolute answer to the whole thing. Why? Because some of the folks just can't get there. Some of the folks are really geographically undesirable. My yeah, whatever. That was something be going way back. Someone had mentioned about that geographically undesirable, too far away. Just too far away. Like, how do you, it's too far away. Well, some of these folks are across the country for that. They're not coming to a meeting. It's too far away, obviously. Obviously, but sometimes around the corner is just too far away. Sometimes just doing something digitally and it's right there, just boom, click and go. It's great. It's just great. So the meeting this morning was impromptu, which was interesting in and of itself. And broke up my old Zoom account on that one. Great stuff, great conversation, and it was really good. And then we're going to go from there. And eventually, some of these meetings and some of the things that we're doing over there will absolutely be in person. Looking at different aspects and the connection there was folks that were working with high schools and working with the students when it comes to career, identifying their own skills, using different skills in order to be able to express themselves. That's great stuff. That's great stuff. So it was absolutely terrific, to go and do. So don't downplay the digital world, man. I know it's hard to connect with people. Get that. You know what? If you go to a networking event and you don't know anybody, or you're trying to meet a whole bunch of different people, it's challenging. I get that. I attended this conference with SAE, that was the automobile industry effort that's working with schools and forwarding incredible things on the alternative energy side of things, anything from propulsion systems, aerodynamics, and stuff like that. But so they had a digital online event. Great part, people attended from all over the world. I had a networking with two folks. One was from Pakistan. Asked me an interesting question, what my perception of Pakistan was. And then the other one was from Ireland. There's no way I ever would have met these two gentlemen ever if it was an in-person event. One had never attended an event like this before, same as me, never attended anything from SAE. I was curious to see what it was all about. Was I going to travel to Pakistan to go to an event? No. Was he going to travel from Pakistan to the United States or anywhere, to go and attend an event like that? I actually can't answer for him because you never know, but no, probably not. He was curious to see what it was. The other guy was from Ireland, and this guy, he might have traveled any place, to go and do. He was a big executive at a couple of different places on the aerospace side of things. It seemed like he just travels the world because he just travels the world. So it's conceivable I would have met him. But I don't know if I ever would have had the chance to have a one-on-one conversation. The flip side of that was, although it was great, let's just go with this one. Although it was great to be able to participate in that overall event and to be able to learn about what SAE is and to learn about the programs, learn about how they interact with the schools, learn about how they interact with the business community. And there's a big effort on both sides, with them. And that includes aerospace and also the land vehicles, cars. It was great to learn all about that stuff to get the tip of the iceberg when it comes to that, actually. So that was fantastic. And they had speakers from all around the world participating. It was a 2-day event, and you got different time zones, things like that. The networking, great that I got a chance to meet those people, but it was random. Don't know. And it was 3 minutes. Could have extended out for another minute the way that program was set up. So, the chances of getting a meaningful relationship, no. And it was real hit or miss as to who you were to speak to. On the improvement side of things, knowing who's going to attend some of these digital events, I think would be a great improvement overall for these digital event platforms. Who is attending? What is their profile? What are they there for? What are they interested in trying to accomplish? So given the fact there's people from all over the world, do I really want to meet? And is it in my, was it in my benefit? Let's just go with what's in it for me. And I think it was fascinating talking to those two guys, no matter what, but it was just fascinating. But did it help me move forward the ball that I'm trying to move forward? The answer is no. No. Maybe if I got a chance to know them more than 3 minutes, maybe there's something there. Maybe they're trying to do the same thing in their own area. It's interesting. The guy in Pakistan asked me what I thought of Pakistan. That was an odd question for that kind of an event. So I'm really wondering what his story is. The other guy, retired executive, don't know, well, so that's something different. But I was curious about that. That would be an interesting one to follow up with. So hopefully I could find him again, and ask that question. But what am I looking to do? I'm looking to promote the idea of STEM and vocational programs, inside the high schools here on Long Island. So didn't really help me out in that respect from the networking standpoint. And therein lies the challenge, I think. So if there was that digital platform, if any of you are interested in devising or revising some of the digital platforms out there, here's the thing to know. Who's attending? I'm trying to do that with something else, but who is attending? Granted, I know you're thinking, oh my God, who knows? Because it's digital. They just show up at the last minute. You never know. All right. I get that. Hell, that's a problem. But if people knew in advance, there would be a half hour in the beginning set aside to networking. If you're interested in networking, here's what you need to do. Profile, name, website, who you're with, what you're looking to accomplish at this thing. I just want to learn about the program. Hey, maybe there's some of the leaders in the program. I'm looking to do something focused on Long Island. Maybe there's somebody there from Long Island or the New York area, that kind of thing. Maybe there's somebody there that has done that. They've used this program to introduce the school. That would have been great, but it wasn't there. So on the improvement side of things, Mike, Karen, on the improvement side of things, if you're going to hold a digital event, right? It's not virtual, it's for real. If you're going to hold a digital event, try to do anything that you possibly can to allow those profiles to come through, to allow everybody the ability to kind of pick and choose who they're going to spend that 3 minutes with, if that's how your program's set up. And I think a bunch of them are 3-minute time slot, and then you move on to somebody else. But pick and choose, that kind of thing. Or there's some algorithm in there, because God forbid we think for ourselves anymore. We got some computer thinking for us. But matching up with common interests as best as possible. That would be a really cool thing. Digital, without a doubt, and I could tell you from this morning, yesterday, day before that, all out, it is absolutely a benefit to whatever it is that we are doing. Absolutely. Limitations are there. They'll all get better, but without a doubt, this is really something that totally holds true. And then we got a couple of events coming up that I'm participating with that I want to go through. Some of this stuff is, hey, team, good to see everybody there. And as you can imagine, I'm getting better at preparing for these things, but I didn't update the slides. So we have our tomato talk slide. Yes, there it is. And the introduction to brand telling. That's right. That's Author Jermaine. That's business to business. Brand storytelling. That's right. Author is very interested in working within the industry sector of the technology firms, which very, yeah, it's a lot of firms get thrown into that category. Very cool. Very cool. And then my little thing there. Got that picture taken, by the way, out at the racetrack, not street, the Calverton. By the way, racing again begins in August. What to hear about that is it gets totally, totally finalized. But the expectation is that we're racing in August, and some of the things that I'm involved with over here, author, brand telling, the EC&Y Foundation. That's Maria Fry. That's careers, my friends. That's Career Map LI. You want to take a look at that one. That's going to be the big tie-in on a lot of this stuff, besides the business side of it, but then also the volunteer side of it. And Racetrack Nut Street, that effort as that continues on. All right, next up, here's something new. And this is something I actually spoke to them about. So the trade show, the HIA trade show. All right, is a comment overall. The HIA trade show is May 25th. You could register for that. It's this year, 2023. It is in person, Suffolk Community College, the Brentwood campus. There's a lot going on over there too. You'll hear about that from the president of Suffolk Community College and the head of their automotive program and another guest. They're going to be on Scott Possess's Radio Job Line show. That'll be the end of February. So you get a chance to hear what is happening at the school. And it's fascinating, these work programs that are going on, the workforce development, the work certification classes, and that the students can take. And of course, the automotive side of things, which is expanding, which is phenomenal, fits into the whole thing. That's right. It's all coming together. I'm really, really excited about that. So here's a blending of the two. We use that as the example. The event, it's in person. All good, right? And when you get there, it's a couple of thousand people, 400 I don't know how many exhibitors, but they took that down there. But I think 450 exhibitors was what they've been talking about, in the past. Whatever it is, you got hundreds of exhibitors, you got thousands of people coming, all different times, the rest of that stuff. They have a speed networking event there, all good. Who are you going to sit down and network with? You have no idea. None. You have no idea. But there is a Facebook page that should be, I believe, will be utilized, and I can take a look at that to see if it is. In fact, I could probably do that right now as we talk. But the Facebook page is a good place for you to put up your profile, let them know that you are attending, and who you're letting know attend is the pages, groups. I think it's groups, right? Is you get a chance to meet some people online. There it is. I got it. So you get a chance. They didn't update it, but that's fine. We'll hang them out to dry on that one. So they have. There we go. Let's get back over here. Here's the post on it. So this Facebook group page, which I just posted up over there, you can join it. There's no fee or anything like that. But the idea there is that if you are going to attend the HIA trade show, put your information in over here. And if everybody that attends that trade show puts their information over here, you can now go through that and see who everybody is that will be attending this thing. And you can set up meetings. You can set up meetings throughout the day. And if you're an exhibitor, it's great because now you get a chance to see the attendees and you can really focus in on who really makes sense for you to speak to, besides everybody just walking through and that kind of thing. Or if you're not an exhibitor, it's the same kind of thing. Maybe you got a couple of folks in there that you've run across that are in complementary businesses. They're like, hey, I do this too, and we do it differently, and we're both working in the same field, but have different ways of approaching, the project. We'll go with something more specific. Both in real estate. Somebody buys, so you got a real estate agent and a home remodeler or a landscaper. Rob Deacon, he does the smoke remediation, cleans the homes. You know what? Those are great people to meet. So if you were, Rob, and you want to meet a real estate agent like Lisa Almanowski, say, hey, Lisa, I see you going to the show. Why don't we meet at 10 o'clock at wherever? I don't know, Chick-fil-A is usually there. Chick-fil-A was usually busy because they're giving away the free sandwiches. But you get a chance to meet them online, right? And that's the benefit of this digital world. And that's an informal meeting. You pick and choose, but it's a great thing to go and do. So I definitely think there is much to say about that. All right, next slide over there. The Long Island Take Steps. I'll give you the example on that one. This is the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Major supporter, effort wise, at least, always trying to raise a couple of dollars for the group here. That walk, all things being equal, the the walk is it was Barbara Kaplan sending an email out about the All Kids Fair. So we'll get that tagged in on this one too. Not today. We'll do that one tomorrow. But here, the Take Steps walk. What's the difference between digital and personal? A lot. First off, the walk is an actual walk. We will be there, Belmont Lake State Park, May 7th for that one. And we'll walk. And if you have a table, you'll have a table. And then you get a chance to, meet the people that are there and do that whole thing. And it makes sense and it's great. And take some photos, maybe grab a video, on that one. Good. So who knows you're there? The people that are there. What about the digital world? Right? What about the digital world? Hey, we're participating in the walk. Happy to support the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, Long Island chapter. Hey, we're happy to have XYZ company supporting the event and going to be down there as an exhibitor, or as a booth. Please come down and support their efforts or like their page or whatever. Digital, fantastic. Being in person, great. You get a chance there, to go and, actually see people face to face, but getting that name out, getting that brand out, fantastic. Fantastic. What do we have next? I don't know. Let's see what we have next. The Business Solutions Roundtable. That was today. So that is going to be March 2nd is when that one comes up again. So we'll skip through this one here, but March 2nd is when that one is. And I should put this stuff into sequence of order. This one is Monday. This is with Rob, Chef Robert, at his restaurant, Malden and Minonette. And that is in Seacliff in Nassau County. So Rob was diagnosed with Crohn's. He's a chef, and he's going to do a cooking demonstration for us. And that's for the folks that are involved with the support groups for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. I'm really curious to see how this whole thing goes. My co-facilitator, Jill Fuchs, and I will be there with him. I was kidding around. He's going to say, we're going to be his sous chef, producer of the podcast. That one will also be the cleanup squad when it comes to cleaning up the dishes, afterwards. And interviewers and a whole multitude of whatever, to make this thing work. But if this does go as well as I hope it'll go, a lot of things on the rise. And again, this is focused for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, those suffering with IBD, irritable bowel diseases, specifically those two. So looking to use appropriate food for those suffering those conditions. But, in the future, who knows? Guy's a chef, got a restaurant. Many things can come out of this one. This goes into the world of unknown. So very excited about this. And this is the first time I'm going to try to do something off premises, not, sitting over here with Tweety Bird sitting in the background and Yosemite Sam and the team. I'll be doing stuff without you guys. So it's all right. Just hang in there. It's okay. What's up next? There we go. Daytona 500. I got nothing to do with this event. I just thought it was pretty cool. February 19th. It's over in Patchogue. As that goes, I can tell you something else is going on in Patchogue. The Patchogue Rotary Club, kind enough to invite, asked me if I was interested in speaking at one of their meetings, the February meeting. I was like, hey, I got a better idea. I got a better idea. How about we talk about this whole idea of how businesses and organizations can support other businesses and organizations by all having a great time doing it. So the church that the Long Island Needs a Drag Strip holds their weekly car shows out, which won't start again until either April or May, depending upon weather. But they hold their weekly car shows at one of the churches in Patchogue. So I asked the father if he'd be interested in speaking to the Rotary Club. Bonnie from Long Island Needs a Drag Strip will be down there to fill in the details of Long Island needs a drag strip, but we're going to get a chance to deliver a great message. And that is the importance and benefit on both sides when people support an organization. I mean, it's a great thing. Obviously, we'll spit a little information out, with that group, about the Long Island drag strip, whatever headway is being made over there. Again, racing starts again in August. But the whole idea, I think, of supporting different organizations is just really, it's great stuff. So happy to be a part of that effort. Happy to be a part of doing that with Suffolk Community College also. Good stuff. And that's part of that SAE, how they work with schools, high schools, I think elementary schools too. They got some interesting programs coming out. And then the last thing I want to mention over here, I believe that would be the last thing I want to mention over here, is the World of Toastmasters. So this is going to be on February 23rd, Thursday, February 23rd at Stony Brook University. That's another university. I'm tied with schools all over the place, yeah. And that is at Stony Brook University in the Center for Inclusive Education. Where it is on campus, don't ask me. It's the old computer science building. If that means something to you, all well and good. But if you're interested in attending this, we'll be sure. Well, just send me a message. Hey, Mike, good afternoon. Just send me a message, and happy to send you the invite for this. But it is open to all. Open to all. So our club, Stony Brook Speech Wolves, meets online. And this will be an in-person event, but we've been meeting online. This in-person event will take place from 5:30 on to like 7 o'clock or so. It's on the campus, free to attend, and we're going to talk about. We'll have a brief meeting. I get to play Toastmaster of the night. So we'll have a brief meeting, explain out what do we do with table topics and speeches, then the evaluations, an ah counter, along with timing it to make sure that it stays within time for the different speeches, because that's real life, isn't it? Even this thing over here, right? As informal as this is, it's still like I've been doing 30 minutes. I do 30 minutes. Don't want to do 45 minutes. If I say it's 30 minutes, it's 30 minutes. Okay. Does it matter if I really go over? No, it doesn't make a difference. If I go a little shorter, does it matter? No, it really doesn't make a difference. But let's equate this to the business world. If you're doing an intro, let's just say you're involved with David Gusson, 516-631 ads event, and you're giving, you're sponsoring it, and you got your 3 to 5 minutes in front of everybody. You get 3 to 5 minutes in front of everybody. It's not a 10 or 15-minute speech. It's 3 to 5 minutes. You got to stay within 3 to 5 minutes. You got 10 minutes. It's like, oh man, there's 10, whatever. He's got a half a dozen speakers over there. You can't do 10 minutes. It's got to be within that allotted amount of time. That matters. If you want to become a professional speaker, or if you're running a business event, or if you're running any kind of a nonprofit event, anything goes along. There's time schedules that have to be adhered to. You have to understand what they are. So if you are given 10 minutes to give a speech, you're given 10 minutes to give a speech. Do you go 9 minutes? Fine, that's okay. You go 6 minutes? Probably a little too short. If that person in the wings is prepared to fill in the extra time, that's good. But 9 minutes, okay. 6 minutes, not so good. 15 minutes, that's it. You'll never be invited back again. Flat out. These event planners, when they're scheduling speakers, they have XYZ amount of time. That conference I attended with SAE, those people had a limited amount of time. You can't have speaker after speaker go long. The event will never end. People get bored. People won't listen. And it's a little bit easier to get disengaged if it's online too. But in person, same thing. You can't go long. So being very aware of the amount of time that you have to speak is super important. We do that in the Toastmasters world. Most of the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. We do table topics, which is 2 to 3 minutes for a response. 1 to 2 minutes on a response. I should know this by now, right? 1 to 2 minutes on a response. And if you're doing an evaluation for somebody else's speech, that's 2 to 3 minutes. You're timed. So we have a timer. We'll set an and ah counter. Yes. Filler words. Do you use filler words? Is it okay to say every once in a while? Yeah, not so bad. You give a 10-minute speech and you got 100 ahs, so's all tucked in there. It's a distraction. And that's just as much of a distraction as it is if you're wearing clothes that are like super colorful and bright, unless it's part of what you do. Uncle Marty is a magician. He should wear clothes that are super bright and colorful. Fits in. That is what he's supposed to do. But if you're an accountant or somebody like that, and you're wearing crazy colored clothes, it's like, it doesn't fit. It's not right. It's a distraction. Just flat out a distraction. So there it is. There's your filler word. So if it's one or two, it's one thing. If it's multitude, it becomes a distraction. You need to be aware of it. That's another thing that we do over there. So I hope you could certainly attend that one. It's 5:30 to 7. It's over at Stony Brook campus. That'll be good. If you're interested in a club that meets in person, we are an online club at this point in time. But Suffolk Toastmasters, which meets in the Emma Clark Library, which is in Setauket, and they meet at another one of the locations in and around the area. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I should look this up as to where they are meeting. But they are meeting. They have their meeting set up as a hybrid meeting. So some of the people that are there, I did it again, didn't I? You guys counting? Some of the folks are physically in the meeting, and then they are showing it as a live broadcast for those that want to attend from a digital standpoint. It's a different kind of meeting. You got 3 different kinds of meetings that are out there. Fully in person, it's one thing. Fully online, another thing. The digital, and that is another kind of skill set that needs to be learned. One, somebody's got to operate the camera. There's no operating a camera if you're using Zoom or something like that. But if you're doing a hybrid meeting speech, now you've got different considerations. Who are you talking to? The audience or the camera, or both? Is it one camera? Is it 2 cameras? Is the camera following you, or do you have to be aware of the camera? There's a bunch that goes into that whole thing. So it's different. And then also somebody at the club has got to be able to operate the cameras. And it's different. What's right for you? It depends what you're doing, I guess. Depends what you're doing. I like the digital world. I'm in favor of the online meetings. And that's my thought. But sometimes a live presentation is good. The hybrid, I think that adds a lot to a Toastmaster meeting, a lot of complications to it. So that becomes a challenge. But we're going to have our open house over there. If anybody from Suffolk Toastmasters or any of the other clubs want to attend, by all means, happy to have you, and including you. You want to join us? That'd be great to see you down there to do that. That's my world. I believe that would be the last of our slides here today. My gosh, it is. I got the Take Steps walk up there again. I don't think we got another. Oh, yeah, one more time. Oh, May 20th, again, car show. That's for the animals. There you go, animal rescue. I got to find out about what animal rescue it is. But anyhow, that's what's going on here. There is a whole bunch of different events coming up. Some of them public, some of them not so public. The Crohn's thing, not so public. The Toastmaster meeting, totally public. The HIA trade show, totally public. Get yourself set up, for that. I think that'll go over well. It has over the last couple of years. So that side of it has been great. Nice to see them back at the school, back at Suffolk Community College. Hoping to have a few people from the school participate in that as those efforts continue on with the school, with the programs at the school, automotive, maybe a few others. We shall see. It's an exciting time. Definitely an exciting time. How much can we accomplish? Gosh, I don't know. Streamlining things to get there? Yeah, that's kind of important. But don't discount any of the ways that you communicate, whether it be digital, in person, email, whatever it is. Just make sure that you're showing your excitement, and people will follow you. That I can tell you. People will follow you if you're excited about what it is that you're doing. And that is why you need to speak well, speak often, and live inspired. They'll follow you. That I can tell you.